The US has a serious drug price problem. They're expensive, way more expensive than other Western countries. But Florida, it's found a pathway to cheaper drugs, and it runs straight through Canada.
Well, today the FDA signed off on a program to make Florida the first state in the nation to import prescription drugs from Canada.
Maybe they'll be the first of many. There are at least 8 other states actively pursuing this bulk buying strategy.
This is a program that can and should serve as an example for the other states who are either contemplating or planning to implement similar programs.
This may not be good for Canada.
If it goes ahead, then we should be worried.
So, will it?
Having to choose between the medication that you need to live and, say, the food that you need to live is an embarrassing problem that plagues many Americans.
When I say drugs are more expensive in the US, I mean way more expensive. 2021 data shows prescription drugs cost, on average, 3.5 times more than in other comparable countries, including in Canada. And sometimes it's way worse than even that.
This one was purchased in Canada for $34. This one in the United States for $380.
So with me having to buy this medication, also have to feed my kids, childcare, everything, it gets overwhelming.
A big reason for this is that the US doesn't negotiate with drug companies as a single entity. In fact, it legally forbids itself from doing so. So it's a bit of a free-for-all. Private insurance plans, individual states, let the free market reign.
The US government, amongst all the other OECD countries, doesn't allow price negotiations with manufacturers. So drug companies are free to set whatever prices they want.
Countries like Canada have rules about how expensive drugs can be, and they negotiate within those bounds. In the US, there are effectively no limits.
There's not a secret sauce here. Canada just is more forceful in the negotiations and willing to walk away from products.
There is a way for some people to save hundreds, even thousands of dollars a year, and it's right next door.
Now, on a small scale, Americans can and do buy their drugs from Canada. They'll cross the border to fill their prescriptions. Up to a 3-month supply is generally allowed. But commercial buying or wholesale buying from Canada has been illegal for a long time because from the US government's perspective, it means less control over the drug supply. The FDA would have to rely on Health Canada, for example, to ensure that the drugs are safe. But now, a big change.
It was 4 years ago when Florida first applied for permission to import drugs from Canada, and now the FDA is greenlighting the importation program.
Florida managed to make the case that importing bulk drugs from Canada can be done safely, and that this helps solve another problem. They say it could significantly reduce the cost of covered products to the American consumer.
Basically, these are the same drugs. You just get them for a fraction of the price compared to what you do in the U.S. market.
And listen, Florida says the bulk import of certain drugs from Canada is almost ready to happen. They have a drug importer and distributor on retainer. They have a Canadian seller, a company called Methafarm, on board. And look at this. A 98,000 square foot refrigerated facility an hour outside Tampa, built specifically to hold all those expected drug imports from Canada.
So we're standing here in an empty warehouse with our partners ready to begin final implementation. So we're basically one step away.
So is it that simple? Green light from the US, a willing participant in Canada, we're good to go. Maybe not.
Certainly, this isn't happening tomorrow.
Because think of it from the point of view of a drug manufacturer. So let's say you've got 2 customers, a company in Canada that you could make $1 million off of, and a company in the US that you could make 3 times that amount. Would you really want to sell your product to this guy knowing that they're just going to turn around that same product over to that guy, your other customer?
Manufacturers are absolutely opposed to this type of importation because why would they sell to the U.S. for cheaper if they could sell for more?
Some manufacturers even tell their Canadian wholesalers, we'll sell to you, but you have to agree in writing not to export what we sell you. Now, according to its website, the Canadian seller that Florida has an agreement with does appear to make some of its own drugs, asthma medication, for example, which it could certainly ship to Florida. But many of the other drugs it wants to ship to Florida, it gets from those drug makers, which relies on them playing ball. We don't know how that will turn out.
The way we get our drugs here in Canada is that we're allotted a certain portion of the global market share according to our population.
We know that drug manufacturers have indicated they wouldn't sell Canada more drugs in order to make it possible for you to then sell them to the US for a low cost. If that's the case, then you'd be deciding between like selling drugs to the US that you didn't have then available for your population.
And we should point out, drug shortages in Canada do happen. Just last year, when Ozempic was in such high demand in the States, that triggered a shortage in BC.
In January and February, 15% of all Ozempic prescriptions in BC were filled for Americans.
Now, Canada predicted this might be a problem. In 2020, right after the law that paved the way for this FDA approval was pushed through, Canada fired back with its own new piece of legislation forbidding any Canadian pharma company from selling drugs abroad unless they have reasonable grounds to believe that the distribution will not cause or exacerbate a shortage of the drug.
Another country does not have the ability to, cannot be given the ability to pillage our health system to its own benefit.
So any company here thinking of bulk exporting to the States would have to be able to show that these drugs are plentiful enough to export and will continue to be so in the future. But how do you predict the future? Right? Maybe things look okay now based on past demand, but not all drug shortages announce themselves well in advance.
The reality is that a lot of drug shortages take place without any prior warning.
Despite all of this, the experts we spoke to for this story seem to agree that drug prices in Florida aren't going to just magically fall because they're bulk buying from Canada. For one, the FDA approval in this case doesn't cover all drugs. All we know from them is that they include those that treat conditions like HIV, asthma, diabetes, and mental illness. But also, this doesn't affect most people in Florida the way you might think.
And they would not be going to the pharmacy, for example, and receiving those lower cost drugs.
The FDA approval only allows certain state departments to bulk buy drugs, meaning drugs meant for prison inmates, foster children, some elderly patients.
This initial plan is related to people covered by public insurance in Florida who would get their drugs through the state, for example. So the state is really responsible for paying for most of those prescriptions anyway. So it's a way for the state to lower the cost to themselves and to taxpayers.
Florida, by the way, thinks there's room to expand this program beyond that so that individual American pharmacies, for example, could import directly from Canada and then, pass those savings on to customers. But that's a whole other fight. So for now, Governor and presidential hopeful Ron DeSantis figures this plan will save the state $150 million a year.
This is something that is incredibly popular with the average person. When we're in an election year and we're thinking about the need to express, efforts towards lowering drug prices.
But how much of that projection actually comes true will depend on much that is outside of Florida's control.
The plan sounds like a really good plan if you aren't thinking about all of the challenges or you don't have a day job like mine where you spend a huge amount of time thinking about this problem.
Big Pharma and Canada will indeed have to play ball.